There are reunions the industry plans. And then there are those that feel written by something bigger than coincidence. Some meetings happen because of contracts. Others happen because destiny refuses to forget. For Kim Woo-bin and Bae Suzy, it wasn't a script that brought them back together. It was time. Time that healed, reshaped, and quietly led them back to the same frame, almost a decade later. 9 years ago, they gave the world Uncontrollably Fond, a drama so heartbreakingly beautiful it left audiences in tears long after the screen went dark. It wasn't just a love story, it was a wound disguised as art. But sometimes, what begins in heartbreak can find its ending in healing. And in 2025 that healing arrived, silently, magically, through Genie Make-A-Wish. First no one believed it. A few fan accounts on Twitter began whispering, "Suzy and Woo-bin, reunion?" Sounded like wishful thinking. After all, they had walked very different paths since 2016. Suzy had become a queen of the screen, a former idol turned powerhouse actress. Woo-bin had stepped away from fame to face something far more terrifying, a battle with cancer that tested both his body and spirit. But as the whispers grew louder, hope began to bloom. When Netflix confirmed it, the internet didn't just react, it exploded. Kim Woo-bin and Bae Suzy reunite after 9 years in a fantasy romance. Genie Make-A-Wish. Suddenly, nostalgia flooded timelines. Clips from Uncontrollably Fond resurfaced. TikTok edits filled feeds, and fans wrote, "Maybe the universe really does give second chances." Because that's what this felt like, a wish granted. Woo-bin once played Shin Jun-young, a man who had everything but time. Suzy was No Yule, a woman who had lost too much but still dared to love again. Their chemistry was so raw that fans believed something real existed between them, even if it was never said aloud. They didn't just act love. They remembered it. After the heartbreak of that ending, life took them in opposite directions. Woo-bin, once Korea's brightest rising star, disappeared from the spotlight in 2017. When his agency confirmed his cancer diagnosis, the industry froze. He was in his 20s. And yet, he faced it with calm courage. Months of treatment, years of silence. When he finally returned in Our Blues and Black Night, it felt like seeing someone reborn. Suzy, on the other hand, kept rising higher. From Vagabond to Anna, she proved she wasn't just the nation's first love. She was a force. Her emotions matured, her aura deepened, and her artistry grew fearless. And through all those years, one question remained in fans' hearts. Would they ever share the screen again? The answer arrived wrapped in fantasy and fate. Genie Make-A-Wish was written by Kim Eun-sook, the genius behind Goblin and Mr. Sunshine. The story was poetic. A mysterious genie who grants wishes not to change destiny, but to reveal truth. At its center, two souls bound by a forgotten past. Woo-bin plays Ji-hoon, a man who no longer believes in miracles. Suzy plays Yana, a woman who makes one last wish, not knowing it will lead her back to the person she once loved in another lifetime. When photos from the set were released, Woo-bin in his long coat, Suzy wrapped in soft winter tones, fans didn't just see nostalgia, they felt it. At the press conference, when they stood side by side again, the silence spoke volumes. Woo-bin smiled and said, "It feels like we never really said goodbye." Suzy replied softly, "I guess we just paused the story for a while." The internet melted. Clips went viral. Fans wrote, "They still look at each other the same way." On set, the chemistry was natural. Crew members revealed they rarely needed retakes. Their timing was instinctive, their emotions synchronized. As one staff member put it, they act like they already know how the other will breathe. In the drama, their characters are older, wiser, and a little broken. They've stopped believing in fairy tales, yet they can't stop searching for one. The story moves between reality and magic, exploring forgiveness, redemption, and memory. But the true magic lives between the lines. In the way Woo-bin looks at Suzy like he's remembering something, and how she gazes back like she finally understands. This isn't just a reunion of actors. It's a reunion of souls. Fans describe it best. It's like watching their past selves finally find peace. And maybe that's why this drama feels different, because both have lived through storms. They aren't performing pain. They've known it. Woo-bin's presence now carries weight. Calm, resilient, real. He once said, "After you face something that could end your life, you start acting like every moment is precious." And that truth glows through every scene. Suzy too has transformed. She's no longer proving herself. She's expressing herself. Her silences are powerful. Her emotions grounded in truth. Together, they bring back something rare in modern K-dramas. Emotion that breathes. As Genie, Make-A-Wish began streaming globally, viewers cried not from sadness but recognition. It reminded them that love stories don't always end when people part ways. Sometimes they just pause, waiting for time to be kind again. And maybe that's what this reunion truly means. A wish granted not just for fans but for them as artists. They met again, not as who they were but who they've become. In one unforgettable scene, Woo-bin's character says, "If I could go back, I wouldn't change anything. I'd just hold on longer." And Suzy replies, "Then let's hold on now." It felt less like dialogue and more like a promise, between two people who have survived, healed, and found each other again. Because some stories don't end. They wait. They echo. Woo-bin and Bae Suzy didn't just return for another drama. They brought an unfinished wish back to life. A reminder that time doesn't erase real connections, deepens them. Some stories don't end, the narrator whispers as the final scene fades. They just wait for the right time to begin again. And maybe this is that time. This is K-Drama Echoes, where love stories don't fade, they echo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let your heart whisper along with ours.